stick around to the end of the video, and I'm going to give you a tip, a pro tip on how to get YouTube Premium essentially for free. Let it not be said that Comrade Daddy, the people's daddy, does not take care of his viewers. Have you felt like the internet has lost its charm? Do you feel like websites that once enriched your life are now doing everything they can to undo all of the enrichment that they provide? Do you feel like a lot of it is futile, pointless, and needlessly expensive? Do you feel a poignant frustration on dating apps of all kinds? I already know the answers to all these questions, because if it's not yes, you're either a freak of nature or you work for one of these companies, and I am watching you. You are not alone. The internet, it's going downhill. And there's a very simple explanation for why the internet is getting increasingly sucky. And I don't know how many minutes into a YouTube video you can swear without it dinging your algorithm placement, but the term is called N-shitification, and it beautifully and succinctly describes why the internet has become everything that it was supposed to destroy. So let's get into the nitty-gritty. What is N-shitification? If you recognize that the world operates under a capitalistic mindset, then you already know that a company it's motivated by profit only. And it's not only motivated by profit, it must have increasing amounts of profits every single year. This is to appease the owners of said company, the shareholders. Shareholders want to see growth. There comes a point where there is feasibly not a lot of room left to increase the amount of money that you're making, unless you sabotage your own product and paywall better versions of it. And there's no better example for N-shitification than digital streaming. Netflix, Hulu, Paramount Pictures, Disney Plus, Stars, I don't know if I said Amazon already. There's like 3 other ones. And it's getting ridiculous. Some of these services that we initially bought into to get away from advertising on TV now offer versions of their service with advertisements in them. The reason I'm making this video is I was browsing the old YouTube, because I'm aspiring to run the place in a little while. I keep seeing this ad for YouTube Premium, and it mentions the word cable. It said better than cable. And I just found that so lacking in self-awareness, because YouTube Premium is on the side of all the villains that are making the internet just feel like cable again. The fact that you have to pay for YouTube Premium is like a reason why it's like cable, not better than cable. It's so stupid. I thought I just insufferable, these people. But anyway, it's not just streaming services that are doing this as well. But there's one example that I particularly am impassioned about, because it's one that exacerbates feelings of loneliness that Americans already suffer a great deal from, and that is dating apps. Bumble, Tinder, Hinge, some new ones coming out, Field. These apps are horrible. They are designed to keep you on the app as long as possible, because otherwise they're not making any money on you. The reason that you're not getting matches on these dating apps, it's not because you're ugly or weird looking or you have bad hobbies. A lot of your bios do suck. That is a fact. But I have seen people swipe on literally no bio at all, so that I know that's not a fundamental reason not to. The real reason that you're not getting matches is because you have to pay to play. It used to be the case, again, maybe 10 years ago, when these apps were trying to secure market share, that they actually did connect you with people that were interesting, that they determined based on what's on your profile, your metrics or whatever, that you would get along with. But once market share is established, how can we grind out as much money as possible from these people? So they bury your profile in the bottom of the list, unless you pay for the premium services, and then they bump you up a little bit. The super likes thing, the boosting, all these little tiny little ancillary modes to boost your presence on the Tinder internet is really just harvesting you for money. Hinge has become one of the strangest apps. It has a section called Recommended for You, and I don't know about y'all, but the recommended for me, it's like the app doesn't even know who I am. The people that show up on my recommended page, or used to when I had the app months ago, are insane weirdos. And I like my insane weirdos, but they're not my kind of insane weirdo. And I am not unconvinced that this is on purpose, because as long as you're on the app looking for people, the higher the likelihood you're gonna use your money to buy the roses or whatever to connect with the people that you actually want to connect with. So everything that we are using has been broken down and atomized and paywalled. So if you want an actual useful experience from a lot of these apps, you just have to pay a ton of money. And it wasn't always like this. And until we recognize why this keeps happening, it's gonna keep happening. And again, to reiterate, this is because year over year increasing profits are simply unsustainable. We can't do it. At some point, we're gonna be paying a subscription service to use the AC in your car. And in fact, I just was making that up, but I think I literally remember reading an article about that. If I can find it, I'm gonna throw it up on the screen now because I'm not crazy. That did happen. So yeah, you're not crazy. The internet has just been getting increasingly worse, and that is because these tech giants secure their place in our lives and then use that to screw in all of these money-making schemes to bleed us dry as much as they can. So I have a few suggestions to help improve your mood a little bit. First of all, if you live in an urban area, I would just delete the dating apps right now. They are absolutely evil. They don't deserve your time or money. And every minute off of our phones is probably good for our mental health anyway. And there's way better, funner events to meet people anyway. One of the funnest things I ever did was like a speed dating thing at a Comic-Con years and years ago. It was super fun. Obviously, I didn't end up in a marriage with any of the people that I met there, but a couple of them are still my friends today. There are plenty of interesting ways to meet people that get you out of the house, out into the world, that don't just sap your money and sap your attention in a very unfulfilling way. If you go out to a speed dating thing and you don't connect with anybody, at least you got out of the house and did something with your time, and you've got like physical proof that you went out and tried to find somebody and connect with somebody. Whereas with these apps, just the time just gets sucked away, and you swipe and you swipe, and even if you get a match, you probably get ghosted anyway. At least that's what happens to me. So it's just, it's a blight. It's a blight on society, these apps. The second thing I would do, not unlike my last video, I think educating yourself about how this keeps happening, why this keeps happening. Tell all your friends about enshittification and point out how streaming services have basically become cable. They became the beast that they swore that they would protect us against in a great cosmic but very predictable twist of fate. And when it comes to the streaming services, on that note, I don't know your life. Maybe there's a show you like, but I say delete it. I say delete the apps. I say unsubscribe. I don't know your life, but I know that these apps, they're evil. These services, they suck. They suck. I know that much. That's a good enough reason as any, right? Just ditch them. Who cares? Who cares? Find it online. And the last suggestion I have for you, especially for the people that consume a lot of their content on their phones, is to download the Brave browser. This app, this browser is fucking amazing. It is like AdBlock on steroids. It has never failed me, and it's an amazing tool. Pre-rolls, end rolls, mid-rolls, banner ads, even ads on news websites they just stopped dead in their tracks. And it's not a subscription service, and it's free. I'm not paid by Brave browser. I just love it so much. I can't. I'm only telling you this now because my subscriber count is extremely low, and it doesn't really feel like much of a secret is getting out. But the Brave browser is amazing. And if you download this app, if you're an Android user, there are in-app settings where you can also get the YouTube autoplay feature to work. So when you're going and navigating to different tabs, if you don't have YouTube Premium on an Android, the video will just stop playing. But you can re-enable that through the Brave browser if you go through your settings. I'll try to throw them on the screen right now because I can't remember how to do it from memory. How does Brave get any money? If it's not selling your data and if it's not charging you to use it, how does it work? Well, they've got I've never used this because I'm content to just get no ads for free. I love that. but there is a Brave Rewards program where they will pay you to enable certain kinds of advertising. So, as I understand it, it's like, hey, this Instagram clothing business is going to pay us $3 if you watch this ad. So what if we pay you $1 so we can get $2 to watch this ad? And then you say, okay, and then you get a credit, basically, and then they think you can cash out the credits. I think that's kind of clever. And if nothing else, it is an option that at least gives me some agency. So if I have to suffer through an ad, at least I'm going to get, like, some kind of compensation for it. It'll make your life so much better. I don't care who you are, it's so good. It's so good. It's so good. You should download it. Comrade Daddy knows what's best for you. Anyway, that's all I wanted to talk about. Also, look at my super cute earrings. I cannot remember the local artist who makes them, but I'll throw that up on screen too, because I think they're amazing and they definitely deserve more money coming their way. So, I think that's everything. Bye!